everyone. I welcome you all to your very own podcast, The Orion Show. Myself, Anmol Gandhi, a business developer at Space Station Automation Private Limited. Welcome to The Orion Show. Speaking on behalf of the firm, I welcome all the chief guests and participants and also thank them for taking out time from the busy schedules to be present here. I welcome Mr. Ankit Gupta, Mr. Prashant Gautam, Mr. Mrs. Dibesh Vitamasu, and Dr. Fatima Sefi. We are gathered here for this webinar to discuss about clean water with the help of automation. Furthermore, we will discuss how automation can help your business grow. Without further delay, let's talk about the code of conduct. To maintain decorum, we have muted everyone, but if you have any doubts or queries, please drop your message in the comment section and we will ask them on your behalf, but please be patient. Also, once the speakers are done, everyone here will have an opportunity to speak and express their thoughts. Once the session is concluded, the video recording of the session will be uploaded to social media to watch again. Okay, now I would like to call Mr. Ankit Gupta, BTech in Computer Science from IP University in India, and MSc in Autonomous Vehicles from Cranfield University in the United Kingdom, currently holding the position as Assistant Professor at IILM University, and also the founder of Space Station Automation Private Limited. Sir, please enlighten us with your thoughts and take forward the session describing the automation industry. Over to you, Ankit, sir.
Thank you, Anmol, for inviting me today, and thank you all of you for joining us today as well. Today, we are going to specifically talk about the automation and the clean water. Uh, the first agenda will be talking about automation, IoT Industry 4.0, target industries, target increase in sales, our team, Space Orion. This is our new firm which we have just recently registered in UK. We will be discussing more about that, and there onwards why Gen Orion, and in the last we will be talking about our products. So without the further delay, just directly get delve into the automation part. So the automation is directly connected to the industry 4.0, where we need to find that how the things are going to work and move fastly for the increasing population. We need to understand like how the things can be done automatically. We need not to depend more on the human resource. We can actually increase the manufacturing. We can actually increase the security. But how all these things are going to work? Well, basically here we can see just a small animation where we can see few machines are working, and these machines are going to be controlled with the help of just one person who is taking care of entire thing with the help of the few instructions given on the screen. May can be controls as well. Here we can see different devices which are going to be controlled by this person on the screen. It may can be the tablet, it may can be the mobile phone, otherwise it may can be the desktop as well. what what is the best part about the automation industry 4.0 is like we can control the things wirelessly. You do not need to connect the wires anymore. We just directly can control the things from anywhere around the world. You need not to be near, you need not to be present at the location. You can actually control things virtually from anywhere, and you can make the things to work automatically behind you as well. So, like how these things and how this technology is going to be working around, how it can support us, we are going to delve more into the details in the coming slides for sure. So, the most important part where the automation takes place is like how we can reduce the human involvement. This is the most important part where we are trying to understand this dependency can be decreased. Where the not just the dependency, it also suggests like how we can make things better. Better in the sense, if there is a security reason, how we can work around with that. If there is a reason or there is a support where we can think about the human errors can be a problem, how we can decrease that. How we can you increase the use of the computer so that the system can work in such a way that the production is going to be increased, the production quality is going to be increased. Right? On the other hand, we are looking forward to make this decision smart. We are looking forward to these softwares to be trained enough so that they can decide better. We do not need to like waste our time, or we do not need to depend on the untrained people specifically. so that system or maybe the software can take the decision better for you. It can also decrease the delay. Sometimes we used to have the delay or for the decisions, for the errors to be find out. These things can be decreased. The most important part, like how this technology is going to be more advanced, how this technology can become more powerful, is in such a way that it is going to use the IoT and the dashboard. Now, what exactly the IoT is? So, IoT is an addition on top of the automation in such a way that you can control things from virtually from anywhere. Let me give an example. You have a company in India and you are sitting in Australia and you want to control your company, you want to see how things are happening. Just for an example, we have these camera systems these days, which we can actually see and control things virtually from anywhere. It's a part of the IoT itself. If we are going to have the control systems added on top of it, it will become the part of the IoT itself. The dashboard is a like part of the technology where you're trying to see the huge amount of data on the screen in a very short and simple and crisp manner. It may can be with the help of the graphs. It may can be with the help of the animation. It may can be with the help of the APIs which are going to be connected, which are going to continuously showing you the data. It may can be in numbers. It may can be in colors. It may can be the toggle systems and so on and so forth. It depends on the person, like how and what kind of system they are looking for. In the last, the most important part is it's something which is going to provide you the virtual control. You can just not need to see the data. You can actually control the things around it so that the data can be clarified, the data can be understood in a better sense. Now, if we talk more about the IoT, so there is a definition which has been well accepted by the industry. This definition includes the Internet of Things, describes the network of physical objects, that is, things that are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices and systems over the Internet. So here we can see it's trying to be a amalgamation of different connections between the sensors, actuators, different the systems may can be including the desktop, may can be including your websites, the apps on your mobile phone, may can be your apps on the tablets. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to control these things over the internet. Not just the internet, there are different the wireless technologies. You can actually work around with that, and these things are going to make an entire system, and this system is going to be known as the IoT. And let's try to understand like how this is going to help us in the long run. So there are few points which I have included, but definitely it's not the limitation. It can be used in more number of technologies as well. First and foremost is access to low cost, low power sensor technology. So IoT supports the low cost, that is more affordability. Low power, on the other hand, that it is not going to require a huge amount of power. The connectivity becomes a major part. It plays a very important role. Like once you are going to have the connectivity from one place to another virtually, and there will be no delay in the same, it will provide you an edge to see the things how they are happening from any place around the world. Cloud computing becomes a very strong and in the most holding part of the same, where you need not to depend on the power or the computing power of your system. On the cloud, the entire process is going to be taken care of. You just need to see the data in the end, and that is going to reflecting you what exactly is happening. Machine learning and artificial intelligence is the part of the same. You can analyze the data with the help of the data analytics. You can control and schedule the tasks how they are going to happen. You can increase the optimization based on the same. Like previously, if there was some task, it used to take like 7 or 8 hours. Now with the help of the technology, you can understand like where the time is going to be wasted, how you are going to utilize the system in a better way. This is how you are going to optimize the system. Last and foremost, the most important is remote sensing and control, where you can control the things virtually from anywhere. But before that, you can sense what exactly is happening over there, so that you can take better decisions. You can control the things in a better sense. Just for an example, you want to provide the water to your plants. You need to understand like how much amount of water is required. Sometimes it may can be the case you are providing more amount of water. It may can be the case that already it's raining and you are going to provide more water. Definitely, it's going to decrease the life of the or make strength of the plants as well. So we have targeted few industries which we had seen like where the automation can be added. Three of them are included on the screen: auto industry, restaurants and cafe, telecom, manufacturing, warehouse and logistics, hospitality, automobile, tour and tourism, real estate, IT and electronics, education, home and office, security, fintechs. For sure, these are few of them which are included here, but obviously we have more number of technologies which where we can use the IoT and the automation. Today we are going to talk about the sustainable automation, like how we are going to use the automation in the sustainable manner. The example is taken care of with for the clean water. So what we can do here is like we can actually add the control systems in such a way that it can automatically check the quality of the water. Like if you are drinking the water is going to be healthy for you or not. Like how it is going to do that. So the management is going to be sustainably added onto the same. Just for an example, before the water is going to be reached to your home, it is going to be automatically checked each and every time. If there will be some problem with the water, may can be some kind of the bacteria which are present in the water, may can be the pH which is not good enough, the TDS which is not good enough, the hardness is not good enough for the health. The system can raise an alarm that you should not drink that, or it may can automatically clean the water for sure. The reuse of water can be used for the same. Just for an example, we can develop these smart toilets based on the requirement of the people or maybe the industries. Where, for an example, if you have already used the water for the shower, that same water can be used for the flush, and the things are going to be more eco-friendly, where the water is going to be reused again and again. Not just that, we can actually support the biodiversity in such a way that the requirement of water is going to be enough all over the world. Just for an example, me and Satyanarayan ji, who is present here, we just did Dubai. We had seen the people in Dubai, they do not have the right amount of water, but what they had done, they had these kind of pipelines under the ground with which they were trying to increase the humidity in the environment. They were trying to raise the plants with the same. So things can be taken care of smartly, like how you are going to provide the water to the system, or the right amount of water which is required, or make then how you can connect the systems in such a way that you can collect the water from the atmosphere itself. The hospitality sector, this is something which we have discussed in our last webinar as well. I want to just like emphasize more on this part. The reason being, health industry is booming, but for sure at the same time, it is not really good for us. The health industry is booming, but it is not supporting the population in such a way that it's becoming more and more expensive to find the right required medication and right required treatment. So how we can work around with that, how hospitals can use this technology, how the security of the information can be increased are the part of the automation. Just for an example, if you or me can be a doctor who is looking forward to understand the health of the individual. Previously, what we used to do, we used to collect the all the medications, may can be all the reports, may can be all the X-rays in one of the big file. But this is not the part like how you are going to identify what may can be the problems which may can arise in later part in your life. The doctors may not be smart enough, or may can be experienced enough, or may can be the case that they are not able to give enough time for that specific person to understand what kind of problems which may can arise in future with this person. In this case, if the same report is going to be added to this automated system, it can actually analyze the entire amount of data, like within next 4, 5, 6 years, like where you are heading to and what kind of problems this person is going to have. The entire system of the hospital can be automated in such a way that they can have the operation procedure in a smart way, that you need not to wait for a few days or months. It may can be also like the augmented automation can be added, where the students in the hospitals can learn fastly without the dissecting part, and then they need to look forward with the more 3D printing. Definitely that can be added for sure in the automation, where just for an example, if you want to add a new part, the bio 3D printed part inside a body, like how the entire system is going to be taken care of. If this bio 3D printed part is going to be supporting the other person's body or not. The alarm system can be added for sure. Just for an example, we have the smartwatch these days. It can tell you about like if your heart rate is increasing or not, your pulse are good enough or not, you are taking right amount of walk on a daily basis or not. These things can definitely support the hospitality industry in such a way that the health is going to become a more and more important part and becoming a more supportive part for the coming generation. If we talk about the automation in the IT industry, we had seen a major growth in this sector. We can see that by 2030, 20 billion devices will be connected with IoT for sure. We can see just by 2021, the entire industry was approximately 53.45 billion in size. It's a huge amount of money we can see in the same industry. During 2017 it was for 45.8 billion, but it is supposed to be increasing up to 114 billion by 2025. There are, as I said, there are a number of different types of wireless systems, not just the internet, but we can actually depend on the local Wi-Fi communication, the Bluetooth communication, the Leafy, and the Zigbee, and there are so many others as well. The most important part, like why we are trying to focus more on automation in India, is like there are few devices and few companies are already there which are working in the automation, but definitely this is from the Western part, like not from the Asian. Like we Asian have different kind of requirements for us, and definitely we are very much unsatisfied because of the monopoly these Western world is over us. On the other hand, we can see the young generation is very much into the automation. They look forward to have the luxury in their life, and this is something that they definitely try to have in their life cycle. So if we talk about the team, we have a very small team of founders. On top, I am myself, Mr. Ankit Gupta. I'm the MSc in Autonomous Vehicle Dynamics and Control. So definitely here you can see the more towards the automation and into the vehicles for sure. We have Ankush Kohli, he's also the co-founder, software and content management hat. We have Princy Gupta, she is co-founder as well. She is a business management professional. On the uh, right hand side bottom, we have Prashant Gautam. He is co-founder, designer, and architect. So it is the big time for us where we are going to let you know about that we have our new venture, that is a Space Orion, which we want to present and celebrate in such a way that it has been registered in UK just recently only, and here is the time that we are launching its logo for you, and we have our tagline that is paving the way to space. So Space Orion is going to be specifically working in the space domain. We will be developing the control systems for the space. We will be developing the CHAVs. This is convertible hybrid and automation systems. Definitely, it's a very big name that may shorten it for you. So convertible means that we are trying to develop the systems in such a way that something that can move around, something that can fly as well. The hybrid is some sense that where the technology is going to use both the different kind of fuels which we generally use right now, and something that is going to be more sustainable fuel in the coming era. The A stands for the automated part, that we want to make our vehicles more towards the automation, that they can automatically like take you from one place to another. And definitely in the last, that is the vehicle. So CHAV stands for convertible hybrid and autonomous vehicle. Definitely we will be launching our posters very soon. So we have a very clear mission, vision, and values towards the same. So let me take you through with the mission: providing automation support to the space domain for an autonomous space journey with the hybrid fuel system, saving our Mother Earth from any further challenging developments from human achievements. So we had seen like within last century, humans have achieved so much that we have landed on the moon itself. But for sure, we have been like doing things wrong. Definitely, this was the case. That's why we are not able to achieve further. By 1969, we were able to land on the moon, but still now we haven't landed our passengers on the moon. The passenger system is not started yet. So definitely there is a problem. Obviously, we have countered some of the problems. NASA is looking forward to it, working towards it, but there is always some problem with the government funded projects. That's why SpaceX came into the picture, and they are now able to supply or provide the support to the NASA. Nowadays, NASA is more dependent on a private firm, so we can understand things are moving fastly. Now the governments are not supporting the movement. We as a human, we as a company, we as a how will I say community needs to come forward and take the bigger steps. Our vision is very clear. Spaceline dreams to support private companies in becoming the leaders in space travel and allowing the human race to discover and reach faraway stars. We aspire to become the leaders in the autonomous space travel, allowing us to make traveling through cosmos affordable. So what we are looking forward is we are looking forward to design these kind of vehicles for us so that we can leave our Earth and move forward to the cosmos, other planets. But at the same time, obviously, we had seen it's a very, very, very expensive part. But how we can make it affordable, how we can make it sustainable as well is what our vision is. We Our value includes spatial and value sustainable development. So I'm constantly focusing on this word that sustainable development is where we are going to look for, and aims to keep the environment on earth safe and flourishing, adding automation to existing system for better decision making with no human errors, making traveling easy on the earth as well as in the outer space. So space is working on two things, like how we can like work on the transportation on the earth, as well as how we are going to have this kind of transportation which can allow us from leaving Earth and moving to some other planet. So here we can see our main goal is not towards this the traveling first. Our main goal is towards like how we are going to add the sustainable development into the same cycle. The most important part is if we are going to move from Earth to other planets, it is something we have to take care about, that what is going to happen with our earth, the mother earth, where we were born, right? So we have to take care about that. We have to learn from it that the environment is supportable. We had seen during the COVID-19 the environment was automatically coming back to its natural position. We had seen in Venice the fish used to come back into the to the river, which was not there from last 80 years. So we can see the 80 years of disruption was just came back to the normal cycle within just 2 years. I will say not even the 2 years, just 1.5 years. We were able to see the Himalayas from the UP and the Haryana, which was not seen from last 150 years. So we can see within 2 years these things can change rapidly. The environment can come back to the position, but if we are going to develop our entire system in sustainable manner, for sure the things are going to be much better in the coming years for ahead. So what makes us unique? So it's very important. Like space Orion is definitely coming forward. So what exactly we are going to do? So we are definitely getting into the automation part, and we are never going to leave the automation behind because we want to reduce the human involvement. We want to reduce the risks. Just let me give you an example. To travel from Earth to the outer space, it may can take you years. So during that time, no human can work around in such a way that there will be no human error, right? So in that case, if we are going to have the automated system which is going to take you through the cosmos for all these years, definitely it's a part which we are going to focus. Prosthetics is something which we are working on. We had seen people who have lost to the nature; they do not have arms or they do not have the abilities they used to have before. How we can add the automation in the same case. The brain wave control system is something which we are working on. Space and Earth. So definitely we are a very new startup, and but we aspire to move beyond. We are working on developing the convertible systems, and it's more of towards the mobility, towards the transportation where we are heading to. So let me give you just a very brief idea like how what we do. So we are working on the automation and human computer interaction, like how the computers can be interactive with the humans in a much better way, how the automation can support the development, the coming areas. We are also looking forward to develop the hybrid technology for the future transportation. Transportation definitely is becoming a very very problematic part for us right now. Let me give an example. In 1950s, in US, it was very easy to get the pilot license compared to now. So here we can see within 70 years, it is becoming more difficult to get a pilot license compared to 1970s in US, where it was very easy to get the pilot license. So it's all about like what Space One is. In the very brief, we are like registered at the office address Havel Space, Rushmore, Manchester, United Kingdom. There are few handles where you can just directly go and follow us. And what I do is, it's not I who succeed in the long run, while it's we, like together as a community, who are going to make it possible. So thank you all. It's all from my side. Here onwards, Mr. Prashant Gautam is going to be talking about our products from the Genoran. He will be taking you through like what Genoran is, what are the different products we have. So Anmol, over to you. Please take care of that.
Thank you, Mr. Ankit Gupta, for this enlightening information. We're glad to have you here. Now, I would like to call Mr. Prashant Gautam, co-founder of Space Station Automation Private Limited, a professional architect from IP University, handling the designing and marketing departments of the company. We welcome you, sir. Please enlighten us with your thoughts.
Thank you and more for the invitation. Good evening, everyone. I'm Prashant Gautam, here to explore you about the generalized use of product. I hope I'm clearly audible on mode.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Uh, Let me share the screen.
Prashant, you are going to continue with screen sharing, or should I?
I'm continuing with the screen sharing.
Okay, perfectly fine.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's clearly visible, I guess, on the full screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at General, we are working towards the automation for residential and commercial segment. Initially, we started with the residential segment and we are expanding it to commercial and industrial segments. The technology which is currently available in the market is quite expensive and not widely available for customization and are mostly developed by the Western countries and mainly over English or foreign languages. So we are focusing on developing the completely Indian product which is affordable for all the income groups with customization available, and we are also supporting the Make in India initiative started by the Indian government. As you can see, we even got the product patented and we are working on the technology uh, on of the technology we're working upon. This is a GenM and GenS series. These are the virtual images. Actually, it's the outer case in which the product will be installed. The product will provide you smart switching and control system for home and office automation. It can be installed in any residential or commercial space without any physical upgradation, making it one standalone device. It can be controlled via Genorine's website or application, making it highly secured. It will be providing you continuous notifications through the application and through the calls or SMS. Uh, then there is a sensor module. A sensor module will be required for a single room. It is actually basically a upgraded part as additional. It will be containing various sensor like smoke sensor, fire sensor, humidity sensor, temperature sensor, light sensor, gesture sensor, and along with a buzzer. So let me explain you. The Gen M will be the main module. That will be the series of main modules. It will be containing Gen S 12, S8, S6, yeah, that's a submodule. Sorry. Gen S is a submodule. Gen M is a main module. One main module will be required for a single space. For example, for a 2 BHK unit, a single module will be required. And Gen S, which is a series of submodule, which is a series of devices, which it will be installed according to the number of switchboard in your place and the sensor module, which I already show you. So these will create a mesh network and will start working accordingly. As you can see that that's the desktop version of the application and the tablet version or the view which we gonna saw in your devices. All the features will be available on all the devices. The main feature of the product is device scheduling, which means you can schedule your device when to turn it off, when to turn it on. For example, if you forgot to turn off your geyser, you can turn it off, or even you can schedule it to turn it on at a particular time of the day. For example, before you wake up, if you're getting late for the office, you can just turn on your schedule your geyser to turn it in advance, so that when you wake up, you'll get the hot water to take a bath. That's also the scheduling can also work in case of the advanced scheduling for AC. Like if you want to turn on your AC before you reach your home, you can directly schedule it, and even you can turn it off by scheduling it at a particular time. And the other features are bill prediction and providing sub user access and temporary user access. The bill prediction feature will be provided to you through the sub module, which is GenS. Basically, the this will be GenS will be providing you the power consumption analysis of all the devices which are connected to that particular switchboard. So that's how the bill prediction works. And sub user and temporary user access is like key. For example, for a temporary user, if somebody is coming to your house and you have to provide him access for few minutes, for like 2 minutes, so you will be providing him access for 2 minutes for the main door. He will coming inside your boundary and will be delivering the product and will go on. That's how the temporary user access works. And for the sub user access, that will be part of the hotel and uh, restaurant industry. uh, a product can even work in case of power outrage as it has an inbuilt backup supply that can last up to 12 to 24 hours. So we can say that we even got you covered in case of power failure. Here is a mesh network support. In normal case, all the devices will be connected to the Wi-Fi and will be working accordingly. In case of internet failure, GenM will take the place of the Wi-Fi and will connect to all the submodules and will be working as per the in that particular case. Uh, I guess it's basically done in simple steps by install and control.
Notice
That's how simply the product will be installed. Like you will not be requiring any initial upgradation for the installation of your product in a residential unit, or even in case of office segment, we can directly install it. So the problems which we are targeting through the product is one of them is security breach, because as we all know that space we are living is not so secure, and like we are living in a society where security is a major concern these days. So the problem will be tackled through the option of notification, which will be provided you through the calls and SMS at the time, and even at the time of security breach, you will get a notification, and you can take the required action during that time. The second problem which we are targeting is expensive. The current technology which is available in the market is quite so expensive and not so affordable for all the income groups. But in our case, we are providing the product and quite range of products in a price range of 5 to 8,000 with the same amount of features already mentioned. And the next problem which we are targeting is remote access. In the current technology, remote access is not available and not working properly. Like you have to be near the devices to access it. But in our case, you can be able to access it from anywhere you are. You just need an internet connection and you can access it from anywhere. And the last and the major problem is complex. Like in the current technology, mostly requires rewiring, renovation, or a new building construction to install the products. But in our case, you can directly install it without any initial upgradations. As I already shown in the video, that the product will directly install inside your switchboard, and it will just make your space automated. And it is so user friendly that even a kid of 6 year age and a old age person of more than 60 years of age can use it. It's quite user friendly. The next segment which we are targeting to in our with the technology is agricultural and farming segment. So as we in that we are targeting the three major problems, which is water and electricity wastage, weather conditions, and security. As we all know that in India, every year we heard that there is a power shortage in India. So we will be targeting is like our product will be helping you to save the power, like we will be reducing the power wastage actually. Like if there is a unnecessary use of power, you'll get the notification and you can take the required action. Or if and by the feature of scheduling, you will be able to save a lot of power. Unpredictable weather condition, like as we all know that every year 20 to 30% of the crops get damaged due to unpredictable weather. So in that case, our product will be providing you notification in the advance for that. Like for example, in the night if they're having some rain, so many of the times people didn't get to know that the rain was there, and they didn't able to take the action to save that. So for that you will be getting the notifications and you can take the action for the same. The third and the major issue is security. Like wild animals can enter your field and damage the crops, and even someone try to enter your field. Like for example, if a thief is trying to enter, for that you will get the notification. Like same in the home automation as well. So that's how the security part of the product works. And the application of the animal husbandry will be automating feeding machines, health monitoring systems, farm safety and trespassing alerts, camera-based monitoring systems, and IoT-based husbandry control and monitoring. Automatic feeding machines will be worked through the IoT-based automatic feeding machine, because it will be helping to reduce the manpower, because it's physically difficult for a group of people to manage a whole farm. For example, if a farm taker has a 500 types of 500 number of animals, so it's physically difficult for to them to manage the each and every animal. So automatic feeding machine will be a good option for them. uh, Health monitoring system, we are providing the health monitoring system as already mentioned ki in a large group of animals, it's physically not possible to monitor each and every animal's health. So here the application will work and the devices will keep track of that. Like for example, if some animal having some kind of uh, s- initial causes of the disease, which will be uh, uh, noticed in advance before it taking out into a serious disease. So for the farm safety and trespassing alert, I already mentioned the security part will take care of that. Like if somebody is trying to enter your field, you'll get to know and you can take the required action. The camera-based monitoring system, basically in that the notification will be done, monitoring will be done through the camera, like to monitor the activities of animal, their eating habits, physical activities, daily routine, and behavior to keep track on their health and environment. IoT-based husbandry control and monitoring. Basically, basically we are marking a field. For example, we mark a area of 2 kilometers. If animal will cross that area, you will get to know. Like for example, as you heard many of the times, the animal get lost or even go to roads which cause accidents. So for that, every animal will be having a track or a tracker in them, in their devices, which will be tied to their neck or will be stick to their ears, and with that you can be able to track the animals. Like these are the devices which I was talking about: the health tracker device and animal management device. The health tracker device will be tied to the neck of the animal. It can track the health and the feeding records, that keeps the they'll help the spot health problems before turning out into a disease. And the second is the animal management device. We call it as a tag as well. It helps in the identification of the animals according to their breed health. Like these tags has a QR code scanner and a barcode scanner. Basically, in that tag, the details of the animal will be installed. Like you by just scanning it, you will get the details of that particular breed. And if some action has to be taken or some medication has already going on, you can keep track of that as well. It will also be getting a tracker which helps in the tracking of their geolocation. These are the testimonials. Like as you can see, the number of companies we are working upon. Like we have developed a product according. We are developing our products according to their needs. Like so, we can say that our product is quite so flexible that the same product can be installed in different regions with just basic modifications. As I already you can see that the in the Gen N and Gen F products, the same product was installed in the agricultural segment as well. So the product is quite flexible to work upon. And these are the certificate of recognition. We have the Startup India certificate, we have the ISO certificate, we even have the GST and MSME certificate. So we can say that we are working with the legal ways. Uh, you can see the images we even presented at Dubai Expo this year. Uh, these are the images. So I guess I'm up. And if you have any doubt and questions, you can ask me directly, or you can just type down in the comment section. I'll happy to answer you. Uh, Anmol, I guess
I'll
I'm
take it
with
over.
that. I'm here to you.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Prashant, for this illuminating description of Gen Orion. After your valuable speech, I'm sure people now have a clear idea about our vision and implementation. Now, let's invite on the stage Dr. Fatima Saifi, our chief guest for the day. Dr. Fatima Saifi is a senior corrosion technologist, a professional member of Institute of Corrosion with a PhD in corrosion. She is a co-founder of a unique testing lab and also has published 5 papers related to corrosion control recently in Bangalore. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Anmol. I think my so this is all about we are going to start our presentation with the safe drinking water quality awareness. Safe drinking is very important for our health, and the awareness is more important to understand why we need the water quality for the drinking water. Here is a very small, already Mr. Ankit Gupta has shared my experience and qualification, but I would like to speak over only one or two sentences that I have 14 years of experience in the crude oil laboratory for corrosion testing in oil and gas industry in Kuwait. That is all about the crude is coming and we are trying to see how the pipeline is working or not, how much corrosion is there, and so much water is coming, which is very, very corrosive. That's all whole my experience into that. And I recently only like 2 years back only I have completed my PhD with the same experience in the oil field water, how it is corrosive in the pipeline. I have I received a senior corrosion technologist, that is a special certification from the USA. NACE is given, that is National Association of Corrosion Engineers, which is based in USA, and it is very important certification, especially for the people who are in the corrosion field. This is also one of the UK corrosion certification which I have achieved as a professional member. It is something little difficult to get this certificate, but because of my experience qualification.
Dr. Fatima, somehow you got muted. Dr. Fatima, you are on mute.
So anyway, sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know. Maybe it is something new platform. So maybe I'm having some facing some problem over here. So it's a co-found. Recently, we have started our unique testing lab in Indore. It is based in Indore, and our purpose is to just give the water testing quality. Actually, because of my experience is based on the water, so my passion was to just go into the water field only. That's the main my purpose. So that's the reason I have started this, and I want to help maximum people to get off of that problem what we are facing right now in the water quality. And I am an entrepreneur, researcher, and content writer, as well as I am writing a blogs also, and I am passionate in research field to solve water problems with innovative solution. Is it okay? Everything is slides are going okay, or any problem
Yes,
from
yes, yes,
there?
ma'am.
Everything is okay.
Everything is going good.
Okay. Now we will go to the distribution of the water and fresh consumption. If we will see the data which we have right now, that already you have explained all about the automation, especially in the agriculture also. So see, if you can see, the 69% of the water is being used in agriculture, which is highly, which we can say in a high amount. If we can able to use this, if we can able to reduce this consumption of water in agriculture through the automation or many of the different methods, we may able to conserve more and more fresh water, which is showing only 1%, which is showing only 1%. So 8% is used by domestic purpose and 23% is used by industries. Industries also using a high amount of water, but still the industries are struggling for the good water. That is one of the issue going on. Now, what is water quality? We are just talking about the water quality is nothing but the any water which should have, what are the chemicals present in the water, what are the physical problems present in the water, and what are the biological problems present in the water. With respect to all these things, we will define the water quality is good or not good. Even we can use for any purpose, either drinking water, swimming, cooking, or irrigation purpose, or for industries purpose. So all these water quality especially has to be agreed from some standards. The standards normally we are following the WHO, which is a World Health Organization. Whole world, all the countries has to follow this standard first. Then based on their different countries, we are in India, we are following the IS 10500 for the drinking water quality. Even for other types of water also, we are using the same standard, that is called Indian Standard Method. Now, already we have defined the water quality into three parts. So we will understand what are the things in the chemical, physical, and biological part. That is important. Why? Because on the base of that only, at any level, even at the initial level, we can understand where is the problem in the water, in the physical, chemical, or biological. Where is the problem? So we can define this physical part in the form of a color. The water shouldn't have a color, order. Temperature should not be very high. Turbidity should not be more. Solids means whatever the solid particles are there, that should not be there, especially in the drinking water. And if you come to the chemical part, we are looking into the pH. pH is the indicator of any water. Any type of water is pH is main indicator. And here we can say anions and cations that I will describe later on. Heavy metals also found especially in the natural environment, in the means earth, as well as by human activities we are generating. Then pesticides we are normally using in the agriculture, and radioactive substances also is a part of the natural occurring substances. And if we'll go to the biological part, there are major four parts are bacteria, algae, protozoa, and viruses. So we will go for this detail in the next slide. So these are the main parts which we have to look. After that, we can decide some particular, we have a permissible limits, it should not cross to get the good water quality. So these are our water quality parameters. In this slide I can show you some different process and purpose. What is the process of screening? For example, we have a process means some in the water, wherever this type of debris is there, large particles are there, some leaves are there, big things are there, how you will remove those things from the water if you want to use it for the drinking purpose. So you have to do the screening. There are so many stages of the cleaning process of the water which we have given here. So screening and pre-sedimentation is also one of the part where we are going to remove the sand, silt, and other gritty materials. Micro straining sometime we are using in some particular place where we found algae, aquatic plants, and small debris. Coagulation flocculation is a chemical part where we are adding some chemicals and convert that small, very small, which is invisible from our eyes, and we make it settleable. Then we can do sedimentation. Once it will get settled in the water, we will do the filtration. This is how we remove the all solid matter, like even biological contamination, some small particles which is caused and turbidity form, that all will remove through the filtration process. Softening is also one of the very important technique which is normally used in the agriculture and irrigation purpose. When the hard water is coming from the groundwater, mostly people are using for softening method where they don't require to drink the water, but they just want to plant the water. So in that case, what happened, the water is being so soft by this softening method, and it can be utilized for the irrigation where the roots can easily absorb that water and minerals. And the disinfection part is the last part when you want to kill the bacteria. And we are using for disinfection purpose is chlorine, ozone, ultraviolet radiations. And there are some other methods which are specially used for some special chemicals like pesticides, solvents, trihalomethane. These are all the organic chemicals which are formed by different type of chemicals. So we can use that specially activated carbon, granular activated carbon, and many other advanced techniques. Here I'm just showing the very basic types of processes which we are using to pure the water and remove all the contaminations. And aeration also one of the process where we are specially targeting for volatile organic compounds and some radon or H2S, hydrogen sulfide gas, some dissolved gases also present in the water, which will be the chemistry of that water will be changed when we do aeration. Aeration is nothing but we are just supplying the oxygen from the atmosphere. And sometime when iron and manganese also present, that will, when the air will react with the iron and manganese, it will become insoluble compounds, and automatically it is easy to filter that contamination from the water. And reverse osmosis, mostly we all know why RO everybody is having at home mostly for the drinking purpose. So it is very common and very important type of process where most of the industries as well as for the domestic we are using to remove all the inorganic contamination. Inorganic contamination we will discuss later on how it works. I will show you very easy, through the pictures. Ion exchange is also one of the method, and this softening. These are the two, we can say, combination. Softening only will soft the water, but ion exchange will just change the compound. That means there is a replacement of the cations is happening, and the hardness will be removing from the water, especially when we have a high hard water in groundwater or well waters. Oxidation and filtration is also one of the process where we are using to remove some inorganic contamination like iron, manganese, and radium like this. Our next slide. Is that okay? Everything is okay?
Yes, ma'am. Things are very good. Please continue.
So now the question comes, what is water quality? What are the types of things we have to look into the water, and what are the methods we are using? But still there is one question, why we test this water? Why it is necessary? Especially for the drinking water. It is necessary because to save these all organs, we want to save our heart, our lungs, our liver, our brain, kidney, everything we want to save. Even our skin becomes contaminate, becomes damaged if we are not drinking the safe water. So to monitor water should be free from all the contaminants, and it should be disease free, and it should prevent to damage the organ. Also, the most of the major health problems is due to only water, which can goes to the serious illness. The statistical data as per the WHO shows that it is 80% of the human diseases in humans are caused by water. That means our water is not safe, or whatever we are drinking, we don't know whether that quality is good or not good. Even sometimes we are using RO, but it doesn't mean that RO is completely safe. RO can remove all the contamination, but it is also removing many of the good minerals which are very important and essential for our body. According to World Health Organization, 1.1 billion people in the world drink unsafe water. We can imagine it is very, very huge data if we found so many people are facing. That's the reason diseases, different type of problems, and different type of contaminations. If we'll go for this, approximately 1.7 million of global annual death is because of disability. So annual burden is disability. We will see in the next slide what is the meaning of disability and how this unsafe water and lack of basic sanitation and hygiene. Basic sanitation means wherever we are, whatever we are using and how we are living, that place should be very hygienic. That place should be sanitized properly to keep our water safe and in good health. Here in this picture, we are going to understand these are the disabilities. We can see the first lady having some leg problem. The girl is having some, both legs is completely, in different, we can say it becomes soft and it becomes completely damaged. So how do you know this water is safe, what she is drinking? Unless and until you check the water quality, you will not be able to know, because water is the universal solvent. Especially we are normally we used to say why, because water is has that ability to dissolve in each and everything in itself. Because like chemicals, if you will see soil, if you will see gases, everything, it can easily able to soluble in itself. That's the reason it is completely unsafe without knowing to use the water as a drinking purpose. Also, industry is facing a lot of problem because of the bad water quality. If they are doing that production without testing, or they are not doing the right type of testing which they required for their specific production, they are facing the problems, and the end product they are find very bad, and that whole production is in the loss. See, there are 4 photos I have given, which is having children. This is something like a high fluoride contamination, because they poor people mostly drinking from the groundwater, and whatever the groundwater is having high fluoride contamination, which damage when the fluoride is extremely high, then it will damage your bones, and your bones will get different shapes, and you are complete disabled even to walk and move. Hope you people are getting some knowledge out of that. Till now the session is.
Yes, sure. We understand. So that we learn even more and more about it. It's really going very
How is the
interesting.
session till now?
It's going really, really interesting. I hope everyone is enjoying it.
Shall I move ahead? Shall I move ahead?
Yes, yes, please, please.
This is the common problems normally we found in the surface water, especially surface water. Whenever we are using, we should think of first algal. Algae is there, because you can see that wherever the lakes, ponds, and the water which is stagnant, which is not moving fast, that always developing this type of blue green algae blooms. This one, and microorganisms always present, because the water is always exposed to the environment, so very fast the microorganisms will be present in the surface water, and this is called turbidity. When you feel this type of water is there, this is called high turbidity in the water. So there are 3 major problems which we found mostly in the surface water, and these are just not 3 problems, but this is having hundreds of contaminations which we have to check in different methods. Common problems in groundwater. What are the main groundwater problems are, as I already discussed about the high fluoride contamination, how the children's become, disabled, and iron and manganese always high in the groundwater because of the nature. And it is mostly found in very, if it is very deep, if the water is coming from very deep well, then iron manganese chances is also more. And also in the groundwater, presence of heavy metal is something which is totally dangerous for the human, and it will completely give, most of the heavy metal are cancerous. When you are consuming this in 1 day 2 day, nothing will happen, but if you are consuming without knowing that water, it for a longer period of time, that becomes chronic diseases. Chronic means something which comes after many years, and acute means when you are taking some food and you have some contamination because of bacteria, then we have sudden vomiting and dysentery. That is called a acute. Acute means something happened very fast, and chronic means something will occur after many years. So this is the problem. When you don't know and you are taking years and years, then you find some cancer problem, some organ damage problem. That time only we realize what we were having, the food and water. And mostly the groundwater is having high TDS, because before the high TDS was not that much when compared to these years. Many decades before, people were very easily using the well waters because the water was safe and there was no chance of contamination, no rainwater harvesting, no open wells was there, and so many, the nature was very very, pollution free. That's the reason before the well water was safe. But now the well water is very and highly contaminated. That is the main reason. And exploration of the water is more from the well than the recharge of the water. That is the main reason now well water is completely not safe. And without testing of water, if we are drinking, we are just taking the risk of our health. Here we can see some small sources and their peculiarities. For example, I'll not take it too long, but I'll try to make it short. So there are three types of impurities, as already I have told: dissolved impurities, suspended impurities, organic. Suspended means which you can see in the turbidity form. Dissolved means which it is invisible from your eyes. But organic impurities are something like different type of organic compounds are also present in that. So there are deep well water, if you will see, high dissolved impurities, and if you will see sea water also very high impurities, and effluent water has having high impurities, which is dissolved form. But if you will see in the high seasonal, suspended impurities more in the river, because that's the reason suspended impurity, that's the reason turbidity is also high. And in the effluent also, if you have not seen, but if you will see the effluent water, always it is like a always turbid. It is a black turbid, it is a sometime yellow turbid, sometime it is a white turbid. Always these type of samples will come. If you will see, the high part in the lake is organic impurities, because lakes are mostly not very high flowing. They are always stagnant and the water is mostly in a one place where you will find organic impurities will start developing. And it is also high in effluent, because effluent is the part where you will get complete dispose that water which you have to dispose from all the treatment process from the industries. That is the water called effluent water. That's the reason in effluent water also organic impurity is high. So we are doing the test BOD and COD to remove the organic impurities. That is called BOD, COD is the test that is called chemical oxygen demand and biological oxygen demand. Now this is very simple example. We can see the whole things like screening first we did, then coagulation with the help of some chemicals like alum is there, and aluminum salts are we are using for coagulation. When it will start coagulating, means just very small particles will bind up and in the form of heavy, and it will get settled down. Once it will get settled down, slowly the water will goes through the different filtration system, and after the disinfection with the ozone, chlorine, or um, uh, we are using this for the disinfection. Means what we are doing in disinfectant process is we are removing all the microorganisms like bacteria, virus, which is very small and which is very invisible and not able to filter through this method. So after that we are getting the water at our home, that is water for distribution. So this is called point of use. We are going to use from here. That is the point of entry actually. So this is all. I have given here two types of water treatment. Now next will come what everybody is aware of, this RO, this technology. Normally what we are doing here, the water from the filtration, from the tap water, it is coming here, and whatever the insoluble contamination, means we know that water is completely clear from the municipal and it is coming through our line, but still there are pipelines which is distributing from so many places. They may have chances of contamination. So the next again one more time filtration will happen, and it will remove all the insoluble part, and the next carbon activated carbon filter will remove soluble contaminations. Then in disinfection part will come, where we have gone, because we have a power supply that will detect the UV lamp. It is already installed UV lamp which will kill all the germs, and we are getting the safe water. But many places this type of facility, this type of filter is not available. People are simply drinking the water as such what they are getting. Now, these are the main important parameters that will cover our cations, anions, and color, odor, pH. That is all complete physical, chemical, and biological parameters. But I will just highlight the few parameters which are very important to focus. The pH is always an indicator. If pH will increase, the total alkalinity will increase. The total alkalinity is increased due to, why it is increased, because if the minerals are there, that is total dissolved solids may have calcium, magnesium, sodium, sulfate, chloride, all together will combine. It's called as total dissolved solid, which is, so it is in the soluble part, which is not able to see from your naked eyes. But unless and until there is turbidity, we can see in the form of some particles, which is not good for our health. So, and hardness, if we will see, hardness is mainly because of the two main cations, that is calcium and magnesium. So if you will see in the well water, these are the two major reasons why we are getting high hardness. When we are having high hardness, it will show high TDS. When it will show high TDS, it will show high pH, and also it will show high alkalinity. So these are the important indications we test in the lab to check out what is the problem. So if we, even at home we are checking at least pH and TDS, we will come to know what type of water quality is there. For example, if we are sick and we have a fever, at home we are keeping one temperature, one thermometer we are keeping, and we will just check the thermometer. We don't know what disease we have, but we know the temperature is high or it is low. The same way we are checking in the water, pH is high or pH is low. Now we will discuss in the next slide how we have to check the pH. Nitrate and fluoride I highlight because fluoride is present mostly in the groundwater, as well as some industrial activities also it is contamination the surface water, and nitrate mostly coming from the agriculture activities, especially from the fertilizers. And residual chlorine we will go for the next slide, and these are the two important microorganism tests we are going to check to E. coli in fecal coliform, because if it will exceeding, you will be getting some gastrointestinal problems immediately. If we will see this potable water and its characteristics, I have already discussed about that. It should be colorless, odorless, and it should be very clear, cool, and pleasant taste. Then we can say it is a safe water, and it will detect that pH should be at least more than 7. It is given here 8 is very good, we can say. Turbidity should not be more than 10 ppm. Actually I have written some mistake, by mistake it is. And free chlorine should be less than 1.2. Here also it is less than 10 ppm. If we will see the dissolved solid, I have already explained about TDS, the total dissolved solids, which should be less than 500 ppm. So this is decided by the WHO that till 500 ppm they are acceptable for the drinking water, which is also in a particular condition, not more than that. More than that ppm is not desirable for the drinking water, and it should be free from objectionable gases. Gases means our industries are producing a lot of gases in outside atmosphere, which get dissolved in the water very fast, like CO2, that is carbon dioxide, ammonia gas, H2S gas, sulfur dioxide. There are so many gases are there, and toxic inorganic substances also present. Like already I have said many of the things, like nitrate is the anion, we can say cyanides also there, heavy metals such as arsenic, barium, cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, selenium, manganese. Manganese is not a heavy metal, but it is a also having some limitations to that, which is mostly found in the groundwater. And silver. So these are the things should not be there, especially in our drinking water. And we can say that 120 toxic organic substances are present normally, and mostly we are testing the pesticides, insecticides, because this will contamination because of this contamination occurs in the surface water and as well as well waters also, so which can produce acute and chronic. So this is all about how that microorganisms should also not be there in our water. Next slide will show you the pH. The indication will give you very easily, because 7 is our natural pH. Neutral pH we call it as 7. But if it is exceeding more, it's suppose in the groundwater we are getting high pH. So it can go, the our scale is measuring till 14 and 0. If it is less than 7, it indicates that water is getting acidic. If it is getting more than 7, it is showing the water is getting alkaline. That is the main part here, acidic and alkaline. This is what we are just trying to, this is the balance part, this is the high alkaline part. That means more minerals and salts are present in the water, and here more acidic water where hydrogen and concentrations are more, and it can be a corrosive to industries as well as it is not good for our health. If we are drinking acidic water, it can damage our organs, skin, and many problems we are facing due to this. Even arthritis we have because of the low pH water. These are all the just parameter in the TDS. We can say 50 to 150. We can find it as an excellent water for the drinking. But even if it is less than like 300 to 500, we can say if we don't have anything available and we don't have any resources to reduce the TDS, then in that case you can drink this much. But if normally our tap water, if you will go and if you will check it, the TDS mostly will get into one like from the 100 to 250 you will get mostly our municipal water. That will normally the range in the water. If we'll go to the hardness, I have already explained the hardness is because of the calcium and magnesium ions. Sometimes we don't know how to detect it. The easiest way is to use the soap. Sometimes we say soap is not good. No, soap is always good, because those who are making the soap, they know the formula exactly. Maybe the small quality differences will be there, some fragrance difference will be there, but the soap is always good. Only thing, you are not getting the lather formation in the sense you are not getting soapy, you are not getting good bubbles in that. That is because the water is very hard and it took so much of soap to soluble all these things into that. That's the main reason we are not getting soap lather in that. So this is the very easiest method at home. Anyone can detect your water is hard or soft. So in this case, we have given some differences. Is a soft water, we found it if 50 milligram as calcium carbonate we are getting, we found it as a soft water. And why we are using calcium carbonate? Calcium carbonate is something like we are using as a dollar. For example, we want to change the currency from India to dollar, so immediately we can change that to $1 equals to 75 rupees or 78 rupees or whatever it is. In the same way, for the terminology to understand, this calcium carbonate has a specific 100 is a molecular weight. That's the reason we are using as a calcium carbonate in most of the calculations. But it is not exactly you have to use. You can change as per your particular salts also, particular ions and cations also. So we are detecting here like very hard water. We are saying more than 300 milligram. If we are testing in the lab and your water is coming more than 300 milligram, we are telling the water is very hard. This chlorine residual pass is important, which I have not discussed in the last previous parameters. Why? Because it sometimes becomes carcinogen. Why chlorine residual and what is this? Chlorine is something when we are going to use for a disinfection process at the time when we want to remove the all bacteria and microorganisms. That time we are using the chlorine. So chlorine, when we are entering into the system or we are adding into the system, we should be very aware how much quantity we should use. If you are using the if you are using the more quantity than optimal quantity, then what will happen, the free chlorine will react with the other toxic compounds and organic compound becomes trihalomethanes, and sometimes such type of chloroform compounds will found in the water, but we never know what is happening in the water because hundreds of reactions occurs in the water. So it can be carcinogen if we have no control over chlorine, dosing is there. So that's the reason we have to check the chlorine residual sometime in the drinking water. And even this is also used in many of the industries as well as um, in the wells also, people are using to add the chlorine for the disinfection process. If they don't know, they don't have a good awareness, they simply add the chlorine and thinking that water is getting free from all the microorganisms, but they don't know how this water is become changed to carcinogen. That's the reason we should be very careful to get the water quality test to understand what is happening, and especially now a rainy season is there. So chlorine addition may be more from the municipal part, because of the water is getting mixed from everywhere like sewage mix and agriculture runoff from so many places, water from the rain, it is getting mixed, and maybe sometimes they are adding more, and sometimes you feel the bitter taste of the water. That is only not one reason of chlorine, there may be some different reasons of the bitter taste. Maybe sometimes metals also can have the bitter taste, and some dissolved gases can also have the bitter taste of the water. This is how I have already explained the fluoride contamination in the water. Fluoride contamination here we are taking as 1 milligram per liter is effective because it is very good for the teeth. But if it is exceeding, it will gives you the yellow color of the teeth. And if it is exceeding more than 10 or more than 15 and 25, 35, sometimes 45 also, we have got in the groundwater. So that type of our bones become soft, and it will become the shape of the bones will go and we become disabled in that. We called it as skeletal fluorosis. And for the dental part, we call dental fluorosis. These are all the not the optimum concentration. It is all high and excess concentration when we are drinking in the form of water. Even in for the nitrate I am giving more focus because it is not good for the babies also, because how the nitrate will enter into the body, if nitrate becomes nitrite and it will react with our hemoglobin. Hemoglobin means red blood cells, and it will cause a one type of disease which is called this is blue color skin you will find here, that is a blue baby syndrome. We call it as a blue baby syndrome. And also it is not good for the pregnant women who are drinking. You should avoid the drinking water. If it is exceeding more than 10 milligram, then it is not safe for the pregnant women as well as for the fetus and babies. So the different things will come is the birth defects also there. Thyroid problems will cause sometimes certain kinds of cancer. So how can we reduce the nitrate? We have to reduce the fertilizer, we have to reduce the pesticides. Only then we can reduce it. And moreover, it is also formed in the nature, and some nitrates are also formed due to the industrial activities also. So the contamination coming from the sewage, contamination coming from the industries and from the agriculture, also from the domestic wastage, that all goes into the water, and these are the problems are coming. But we don't have any idea whether how, even if the same water is being used for the cooking, the food is also become contaminated. Now we will just discuss about the microorganisms, how it affects on our body. As I already told, there are four main type of microorganisms, especially we have to avoid in the drinking water is protozoa. That is a one cell microorganism which caused by, due to this we have diarrhea problem, vomiting and cramps. And this algae is more, and if you are drinking without knowledge, it will affect on our liver and nervous system. Also it will irritate the skin. And bacteria if we will take, and this is all caused like typhoid is there, shigella is there, there are some other diseases also caused due to this, like cholera is also very common in most of the cases. And virus, as we all know, it's a COVID-19 has teach us so many problems already we face. So normally gastrointestinal illness also, because virus is the problem. Virus is the cause where we can get through the water as well as through the air also, even bacteria also. But already many people understand what is virus, because everybody is aware of due to the COVID-19 now. Hopefully this session is okay till now. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah, it's okay. Huh?
Yeah.
Heavy metals and its sources. This is our last part. Heavy metals, how it affects. First of all, we'll understand from where the heavy metals are coming. This is from the natural part, like volcanic eruptions are there. Sometimes forest fires happen very badly, and it will affect the climate also. Electronic waste, agriculture activities, biomedical waste. We are using so many biomedical. There are so many heavy metals, which is the medical devices mostly based on the this type of type of amalgam is there, where we are using heavy metals to give more this it will not easily react with the other metal. That is the main reason here we are using heavy metals in many biomedical equipments. Power plant and electroplating. If industrial effluents, of course industrial effluents is having a heavy metal, especially like if we talk about the paint industry, textile industry, and there are so many we can say that is the nuclear power also we are using here. Here mining and smelting, these are all producing the heavy metals. Now here we will see how it is showing our adverse effects. Arsenic, it is showing there are skin, lung, and liver cancer. Especially this arsenic will go to and damage our DNA also. DNA once damaged means you will get genetic problems, and miscarriage and infertility also happens in women. And lead, especially, we have to understand how the lead is coming. The first and basic reason of lead, we can find it our drinking water. If we have a metal pipelines, and in the water, if water is coming maybe acidic in the form of like pH is less and some other contamination is there, that water will take all the lead from the pipe, and it will cause lead problems, like we can have increased blood pressure, reproductive problems will come, kidney and brain will can damage, and hearing problems, joint and muscle pain, and it is also a carcinogenic if we are drinking a same type of water for a long periods. So we have to check the always the pipes and the distribution system, which is made of the metal, and it goes on years and years and years. We never change that metal. It becomes corrode once in a while, and the water also coming sometime brown color, that because it is leaching all the metals. That is mostly metal is made of iron, and that all started leaching, and sometimes we can find that color is also coming brown. Mercury is also very dangerous. This is only metal which is having liquid, which is also come in the form of a liquid metal also, and it can cause a tremors. Gingivitis, something like an infection of gums, also happen. It will affect on our nervous system, kidney, liver, and it is also effect on our immune system, and it can be a fatal if you will consume it. Cadmium, we can say cadmium is also having some birth defects is there. We have found some lung cancer, bone cancer, especially osteomalacia. That means we have arthritis problem due to the cadmium present in the water. And some it will affect on our cardiovascular system, reproductive and central nerves. Means if you will see, most of the heavy metals are making a problem in all the organs in our body. So that is the main thing. But if those people are having cigarette habit, they should be really aware of that 2 to 4 microgram of cadmium is present in total 20 cigarettes. That is very important information which I would like to share it. So copper is also there, but it is not very dangerous, because copper is also in very we need in our daily basis for our body, but it should not increase its limits. That's the main part here. So it can also cause a shortness of breath, nausea, dermatitis, gastrointestinal, respiratory manifestation, risk of lung and nasal cancer can happen. And chromium, I have taken it as a chromium is also very dangerous, especially chromium is used in textile industry, and chromium is the main part to give the colors for anywhere, any place, wherever the color is the main part, we are using chromium because of the many different oxidation states of chromium is being used in many of the industries. So it can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, vertigo. Vertigo is something like a, you have a, unbalanced, you can say, body. When your ears having unbalanced, that time you will have a vertigo problem. Liver damage, skin irritation, rashes, and some different problems like allergic problems also happen. So these are the all arsenic, due to the arsenic this type of problems are coming, like skin diseases are there. So when you are using arsenic is having different type of compounds are there, which is reacting with many different salts and become different colors. Also it will give the tumor, and you can say skin fissures are there, some hand problem you can find it. This is all dangerous contamination which is coming from the through the water, and it is actually in the nature, especially in the water, in the surface ground. Uranium, it is actually uranium is a radioactive element and normally used for the nuclear power, but it is also available in the nature. So if this type of contamination we are getting, we have this type of problems. So most in this picture it is given mostly all your body parts is being damaged, like your brain is there, liver is there, lungs is there, liver is there, kidney is there, everything, reproductive part, everything is getting damaged. Because without knowing, because most of the people never go for the heavy metal test. If you go for heavy metal test, then only you will understand what is the heavy metal present in the water, and different state, different countries, and different places depends on the different activities of the industries, heavy metal is produced. So the last slide will share how to improve the water quality. We know everything. We know we have to check the water quality in the lab. But after that also, it is not able to solve our problem. So how to solve that problem? That is what we have to take care of that. So increase the awareness. If you increase the awareness in the people, people will not make the pollution. They will keep the places tidy. Also, they will not contaminate the drinking water. So it is in our hand, each and everybody's responsibility to take care of our environment, wherever we are living, wherever we are having our food, and wherever we are staying there. We should clean that place. We should not dispose the unwanted things. Next, we can say recharge water in the wells. We are extraction, continuous, we are taking out the water from the ground. Even if the water is not there, it will start giving the contaminations if the less water is there. So we have to recharge it more and more to get automatically, naturally, it will get become purified. Decrease the extraction of the groundwater. Save fresh water, however you can save it, just to save by rainwater harvesting or whatever the water is coming, because nature will always give proper things, but only we are not able to accept it and we are taking in the wrong way. So we are in the condition of starvation of water now. See, even in the COVID time, we have seen many rivers, especially Ganga and Yamuna, also get clean without doing anything, because completely industries stopped, every work was stopped, pollution stopped. Automatically, rivers getting clean water and water quality getting very better. But again, once it started, so agriculture, industries, all these things will always damage the rivers water. Increase the rainwater harvesting is a very effective method, but it has to be taken care that when you are using the rainwater harvesting for the well, it should not contaminate the well good water also. Increased drip water method for agriculture is also one of the good method to preserve more water, to reduce the water consumption. Grow more organic farming can prevent from toxic fertilizers, and it will prevent the nitrate to get soluble in the water. grow more trees is nothing but the deforestation. Prevent from deforestation is nothing but we are getting more and more water in the form of a rain. So if you grow more trees, it will help to get more rain every year, and it will stabilize our global warming also. It will reduce the global warming also.
Doctor,
Save water. Fresh water is the best method. How you will save? You should not put any waste in the beach, in the well, in the surface water, lakes, or don't. The wastewater should be disposed as per the proper
sorry to interrupt.
standards. And we should also the water is contaminated from agricultural runoff, industry sewage, from household waste, commercial places and hospital. All these water are some or other way getting contaminated the fresh water. So if you can able to increase the awareness in the form of by sharing the post in, through the social media, and also we can invest some money for that uh, testing water quality. Also we can save the water, because if the water we understood it is good or not, we can able to understand where we have to stop and where we have to reduce it. The use the right treatment method for manufacturing products. Good water quality also helps to get good health, disease free life, save huge amount of money on the treatment of diseases, save your time from sickness, increase your productivity for work, increase your student attendance in school, also college, boost your energy, and you will not fall, you will not sick frequently. Invest money in the right treatment of water quality and water testing. Invest your mind, which costs nothing to increase the awareness how to decrease the water pollution by use right water quality for drinking, cooking, gardening, etc. Just by sharing the educational post on social media online. And now this is a very good platform where we can make more and more awareness. Also the youngsters and students and professionals can take this initiative to contribute little bit money by paper post, banner, stickers, and you can post in the colonies, in the places, marketplaces, commercial places, where people will read and they will learn and will understand. Slowly slowly it will be implemented, so it will get good results. These are all the ways how you can improve the water quality. So this is all my presentation, and this is the unique testing lab services. We have water and wastewater testing services in Indore. We have. So if you want, you can contact us by our numbers. We have a website also. If you want, you can take the screenshots also for that. And in future also, you can contact us.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So this is all about.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful description. Now, due to some like our colleagues have left, many of our colleagues have already left, and Deveshwata ma'am has a busy schedule right now. So we will be skipping her part right now. She won't be able to present. So let us move on to the vote of thanks. Before moving on to vote of thanks, I would like to ask people to put their questions in the query box or the comment box, and we'll try to answer them later. Now, the vote of thanks. Being a team of the member of the firm, I would like to express my gratitude to the wonderful team and company's work culture. Also, a special thanks to our chief guests, Mrs.
Thank
Deveshwita
you.
Basu, Dr. Fatima Saifi, Mr. Ankit Gupta, Mr. Prashant Gautam, and all the other participants for joining this wholesome event and making it so wonderful. Before ending the session, I would also like to invite you all to our weekly sessions on every Saturday at sharp 7 p.m. You can join us with the same link where your presence will provide us with the valuable support to design more interesting products for the automation industry. Looking forward to seeing you again at your very own The Orion Show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And from myself, Dr. Fatima, I really enjoyed your session. It's huge and huge. And not just the huge, I say the humongous amount of information which we have received today. There was a time like when I was like able to see that there is so much amount of information about the water which we did not know uh, was there, and it was just so detailed in each and every sense that I've really enjoyed. And we have also a person here from the food technology, Neha, and she definitely was constantly messaging that she's enjoying the session. Dr. Darshan, that we also enjoyed the session, and we are really glad that we have invited you today. I'm looking forward to connect with your firm very soon in the coming future. Thank you, Dr. Fatima.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If anybody wants to share their reviews about my presentation, they can check out this link Trustpilot. So I would be happy if you will share your feedback. Even if you have any query, you can contact me on my unique testing lab. This you will see the website, so you can just go through the link and you can visit the website also. And thanks for your patience, and some inconvenience happened due to the some technical issues, so I'm really thankful to all of the participants who have participated in this program, and hopefully this will help you in your personal level also and for your society.
Thank you, Dr. Fatima, and thank you all of you. It's time that we all should just go back and have our dinner. Have a nice day ahead. We will be coming back soon with the next episode with Dr. Deepak Kola. He is from biotechnology, doctor in biotechnology from IIT Delhi. Definitely will be connecting with him very soon. Thank you all. Have a nice day ahead.